Welcome back. Do I wear the same 5 shirts for these videos? No. But you didn't come here for fashion advice from me, you came here for some Disney videos. So let's get into it. Around the early 2000s, Disney made several movies based off their theme park rides. Your favorite rides were turned into movies, such as Tower of Terror, The Country Bears, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Country Bears. We're going to talk heavily about The Country Bears movie, and guess how heavy we think Big Al's head is? 80 pounds. I'm not lying. These films brought a little piece of the theme parks into our movie watching experience, and made us question whether Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow, or Jack Sparrow is Johnny Depp. This is going to be fun. Not only because these movies give me a lot of nostalgia, but they're just fun to watch. Now before we start, let's go over some rules. I have 3 of them. Number 1, these movies are based off of rides that were rides first. For example, Toy Story was a movie before a ride, so it doesn't count. Number 2, I might have missed a movie or 2 in this list, so if I did, please shame me in the comments. And number 3, wear a damn mask. Let's start at the beginning. The year was 1997. George Clooney was named the sexiest man alive. He is pretty sexy. A pound of hamburger meat was $1.38, and Titanic was released. However, a much more important movie was released this year, Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror is based off of the Twilight Zone television series created by Rod Serling. Tower of Terror is not based off any specific episode of the series, but it almost like its own new episode, so that's why I think it doesn't conflict with rule number 1. The Rotten Tomatoes audience score is 53%, and the critic score is no consensus yet. Well, it's only been 23 years, reviews take time. The movie stars Kirsten Dunst and other people. In the interest of time, because I have a bunch of other movies to talk about, I'm not going to talk about the entire plot of every movie, but I'll hit you with the highlights. The plot sticks with the storyline of the ride, with guests in the 1930s getting struck by lightning in the elevator. But in the movie, Kirsten Dunst's uncle is also a reporter that lands at the hotel to do a story on these supposed ghosts. They later learn that these ghosts are stuck at the hotel unless they can find a way to reverse the curse and get them to their Halloween party on the top floor. As a Disney movie does, it ends happy and the curse is lifted. This movie has some cheesy special effects, but it kind of makes me like the movie even more. The set's fantastic. It looks just like the ride. It really pulls me back into that ride. The music's fantastic, and damn, it's a fun one. Now this next one's not as common, at least to me. It's called Mission to Mars, and it came out in 2000. It's based on a ride that I never knew existed. The ride is essentially Mission Space. You get to Mars, you explore a little, you hit a few hiccups, but in the end, you make it back safely. In Disney World, it's where Stitch's Great Escape is now, and had the same circular theater that is still currently in that space. The movie was much more expanded than the ride. A mission to Mars by the United States turns tragic, and only 1 out of 4 passengers makes it out alive. With no contact to Earth, a rescue team is sent out to save him. But once on Mars, they find out that Mars is much different than what they learned it was. Fun fact, Gary Sinise is in the film, and then in 2003, he's in the pre-show video for the ride Mission Space in Epcot. Now this is the part of the video where we have a "thank you, you wonderful person" moment. Now this one's for Gary. Mr. Sinise has a charity for families who have lost loved ones in the military. Last year, Gary and the foundation took 1,750 kids to Disney World for a 5-day vacation during the holiday season. That's magical. Thank you, you wonderful person. The next movie is The Country Bears. The bears are real. No, really, they're actually real. No CGI, no really good illusions. They're actually performers in the suits. This fact makes the movie automatically better in my eyes. We'll talk about the performers more in a second. The story goes that 11-year-old Barry Barrington, yep, that's his name. The real name that a writer and a team of producers decided on. Why do I kind of like it, even though it's so lame? I'm naming my first child Barry Barrington. Barry loves the Country Bears, but when he hears about the sacred Country Bear Hall closing down, he goes on a trip to reunite the Country Bears and try to save the hall. The movie is based off the theme park show, but the movie doesn't even have some of the most popular bears from the show. Wendell, Liverlips McGraw, and Shaker. Why you gotta do my Wendell like that? Look at his face, it's so pretty. Okay, it's ugly, but it's like, he's cute. Kind of. I like him. This movie has a lot of laughable moments. Not with the movie, but at the movie, because the bears are just so ginormous and have the oddest expressions. Mad respect for the performers and puppeteers that did that. That is hard work, and I love that they did it. It's just these bears have the odd expressions sometimes that I can't not laugh at. And Christopher Walken is in it, because he'll do any movie you ask him to do. He was in the movie 9 Lives in 2016. Oh, you don't remember that movie? Yeah, no one did, except me, and it's awful. It was the cat version of the Shaggy Dog, but Kevin Spacey is the cat. It sounds like a comedy sketch, but oh, it's really real. All 87 minutes of it. Back to the bears. Whether you like the movie or not, you gotta appreciate that they went the route of puppetry. Disney had Jim Henson's Creature Shop create the puppets, and these bears were huge. Like I said before, Big Al's head alone weighed 80 pounds. Each bear required 2 performers, a suit performer and a facial puppeteer. The facial puppeteer would operate a device called the Big One system that Jim Henson's Creature Shop created themselves, and this would move more specific parts of the puppet like the eyebrows, while the suit performer would be inside the bear, animating the other parts of the body. Terri Hardin, who played Big Al and Trixie in the movie, has a wonderful article about her experiences as a facial puppeteer. And also, she was on a Defunctland podcast episode, so if you're interested in any of those things, definitely check the links down below. I'll put both of those things down there. The movie was hit with 33% audience score and 30% for the critics. Not hitting out of the ballpark, Disney, with your theme park movies. But the next movie changed all of that. Pirates of the Caribbean. This movie made such an impact that they added Jack Sparrow into the ride. So a ride inspired a movie, which re-inspired the ride. This addition to the ride was met with some disagreements from Disney fans, but when isn't there disagreements with fans? Some Disney people can be nuts. Pirates of the Caribbean did great with the critics, with 79% and the audience score of 86%. They went on to creating 4 sequels and making over $4 billion. So yeah, they're gonna make more Pirates movies till that ship is run dry. These movies made a boatload of money, even if the last few weren't as good. But the first 2 are wonderful. They have everything you want in a movie. Comedy, adventure, wit, suspense, and a little bit of romance. Jack Sparrow is one of my favorite characters, and Johnny Depp definitely made the franchise what it is today. There's no doubt about that. It also helps that he loves playing Jack Sparrow, even making an appearance on the ride in Disneyland as Jack. Gosh, it's so cool how much he loves the character and just willing to make appearances as him. I know his public perception's a little iffy right now with everything going on with him and his ex-wife Amber Heard, so I'm not going to take a specific stance because I don't have all the information to make a solid opinion. But in other Pirates news, Margot Robbie was connected to a female-driven Pirates movie, with many believing that she'll play the redhead that was added into the ride in 2018. In this same year, 2003, another monumental film was released, Haunted Mansion. Oh, did I say monumental? No, I meant really bad, terrible, oh my gosh. The critics tore this one apart with 14%, the worst we've seen so far. One critic said, Rob Minkoff has directed a movie that's nearly laughless and nowhere near as frightening as what's happened to Eddie Murphy's career. I'm gonna give that one a big ol' oof. I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, sure, the script's a little cheesy, but it has charm. It's clearly directed towards that family demographic, and Eddie Murphy always puts a smile on my face. And seeing that huge gothic mansion, that's pretty exciting. A big reason I think the movie didn't hit right with fans is because the Haunted Mansion isn't exactly family friendly. Sure, kids and families go on the ride, but the subject matter of the ride is anything but family friendly. I mean, a wife kills her husband, there's tons of ghosts haunting a place, and there's a man hanging in the elevator. What we need is an R-rated horror Haunted Mansion movie, and I know Guillermo del Toro was like in talks to make it, but that fell through. Bring him back. We need this movie. Then for 12 years, we got no more theme park movies. But then in 2015, a Brad Bird directed film, Tomorrowland, was released. A lot of people thought this movie was going to be a great homage to Tomorrowland and Disney World and Disneyland, but really we just got George Clooney being in love with a 12-year-old girl. But wait, it's not weird. George Clooney and Athena fell in love when they were both kids, but it turns out Athena's a robot, so she just doesn't age. So really, he's just in love with the same person all along. No, it's still weird. I saw this movie in theaters and I can't really remember anything. I felt a little cheated, not only because the story was just not that engaging, but the movie is titled Tomorrowland, so I thought I'd get some references to the parks, or just like a little Easter egg here and there, but I didn't see anything. And the final movie is Jungle Cruise. This movie was supposed to come out this July, but because of this global pandemic, this movie's coming out in 2020 never. At first I was skeptical of the movie. I mean, how do you make a movie about Jungle Cruise? But after seeing the trailer, I'm pleasantly surprised and actually excited about this movie. Dwayne Johnson plays a con artist that runs a fake cruise with fake animals, and he works with the natives to con the cruise guests. I can't tell you how happy I am that they're going this route of a fake cruise instead of just using a real Jungle Cruise. It gives me hope for this film, and maybe it'll become a new franchise like Pirates. So I'm looking forward to seeing this movie in 2031. And that's it. If Jungle Cruise does good, maybe Disney will make some more theme park movies. But until then, I'll be watching Tower of Terror and The Country Bears on loop. And before I go, we made it to 1,000 subscribers. Hello. Woo! thank you so much. It feels so good to see that 1K. I've wanted to see that for so long, and it's a big accomplishment for me. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. Just means I'm one step closer to making this a full-time job. If you enjoy my stuff and you're not subscribed, please click that subscribe button, like this video, comment, do all that stuff. Follow me on here if you want to see more of me. End of video.